Too much light. Too much lights. This is going to be a weird stream because we're starting this off upstairs. I can't be loud. Jessica's sleeping currently. Same with the baby. But I figure once people get in, we'll make it a little bit of a surprise video. Show you guys what I'm randomly working on. Still got to figure out what the heck I'm doing with it now. Hopefully some people pop in here soon. I know I want to share things, but if I share things, it stops the stream. And I don't know why YouTube lets that be a thing. Should be able to stream and just keep doing things on my phone without it randomly just bugging out on me. Ah, I'll be freaking tastic. Hey, we got 3 people now. How's everybody doing today? While we're waiting for some people to comment and chat, you guys can kind of see there's the baby crib. So all my Ultraman stuff and some random Godzillas hanging out and more Godzillas and more child messes because it is a hot mess up here. Oh, because even over here, more Godzilla stuff with some really old curtains. Hey, Horror Duster, doing awesome today. Figured I'd go work on some stuff, but since I was upstairs, just got done taking a shower, so I feel nice and clean after work. Baby went down for a nap. She'll probably be out for a little while still, so that's all good. I was hoping more people would randomly hop in. Hey, Ice Dragon. Granted, it isn't a monster, it's in the thumbnail, so it's hard to get a bunch of people. Monster starts with Zillas. But anyways, for you couple here, and if people hop in, I'm going to flip over the stream real quick just so you guys can see. But starting to work on some new beams. There's also some rocks here because I've been using monster clay in order to sculpt some stuff. Actually, I have the one I showed off the beam downstairs, but I actually have a finished beam I can show you guys. Hey, Funny Productions. But anyways, this is the big thing I've been working on. It's pretty much done now. I gotta do some cleanup like around the eyes and do some smoothing. Bring the light over so you guys can see a little better. This is one of the things I kind of want to start working on stream periodically, is doing some like big sculpty stuff. Because this I plan on making a 3D scan of and then making files of it. So I can make like little busts to sell. I kind of want to see about... there's a guy that makes masks and stuff around me, and I want to maybe see how much it would be for him to make kind of turn it into a puppet. Because I even sculpted it so that the jaw comes out. So if I want to scan it to make a bust, I'll be able to scan it better. Because the way it is currently, it'd be hard to scan the inside of the mouth effectively without it. Well, hot darn, you're good, Horror Duster. Yeah, I did this based to try to look like the 55 puppets. So from the close-up shots, that's why his teeth are coming out to the side and was going for that overall shape. Especially when you're looking at it from this. It really gives off that 55 vibe. I maybe could have got a little closer on the front of the face, but I think it still works. It's one of those, like, once it's like all done and like painted up and everything, I think it would look a lot closer too. So there's the top. And then the funnest part was trying to figure out looking at the spines, because all the shots in the movie are black and white. It's dark, it's hard to see. And it was hard to really get down like what the spine shape was actually supposed to be. So the spines are a bit of what I could gather from screenshots that I put together and the X Plus and the Bandai vinyl, just to kind of get some semblance of the placement. You can see here there's some little extra clay I gotta finish cleaning up. Because you'll even see in the movie, the spine doesn't come like all the way up to the front. There's a bit of a gap and then it starts. But some shots it seems kind of like it's a little more prevalent and some it's not. So I kind of opted just to go in the middle for this one. But overall, really happy with it. Like I said, I'll probably be seeing this sometime in the near future. Actually, gotta see about straightening that out. But this is all done with monster clay. So it's not actually cured, but the nice thing with monster clay is it's really you can be really handsy with it without really destroying anything, as long as you're soft about it. Because you can't really work with this stuff very effectively until you warm it up. And then once it's warmed up, it works like clay. When it's like this, it's really good for doing the sculpting details and stuff like that. But yeah, hoping to do some more. I kind of want to make might be a bit ambitious, but I kind of want to do a -1 by him like upward roaring with the scars on him and such. I think would be a really cool one to do. But really wanted to kind of do some puppet stuff because you don't really see too much of that. And it's definitely one of my favorite Godzilla looks is the 55 puppet. So, main reason we're working on that one. But anyways, well, that wasn't the correct button. We'll start making our way downstairs now. And go work on those X pluses until I start hearing Casey go wham wham whams in her bed. It's a bit dark in here, so I might lag a little bit. Also, I'm going to grab a drink out of the fridge since we're here. There we go. On a mission. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do, just because again, I haven't seen anybody really go for that one. It's always like super clean. So that would be a cool one, or even doing the decompression look, I think would be really sweet too. Also, totally forgot I got a bunch of action figures hanging out down here right now, so I got to make some room. That'll be fun. Also, I really love this camera stand because of how convenient it is for trying to do live streams, but it's also the hardest thing to set up because it was also pretty darn cheap. But yeah, doing the 3D scanning stuff, this is my first successful sculpt into resin. So I made a bending beam for the 72 Godzilla monster arts. And then what's fun is, if you guys can see it, there's even teeth grooves here. So it actually fits perfectly inside the 72's mouth, which is something I couldn't really do with my old beams. You'll see here, this is what I sculpted using the monster clay. And scanned it, printed it in some translucent blue. And then I have a full dry brush version, but it's hanging on the table anyways. But these turned out really good. I got an order today. This is another one I did. This one actually fits right inside the 54's mouth. So there'll be so 54 will have a beam. And that just this part rests on the ground, goes into his mouth. You get the gist. And got it fit very nicely. So that's cool. For the column that we were working on the other day, I can't legitly sell these things, but I did print for this commission. I 3D scanned the X and stuck the effect on it. So he has a blue X there, or sorry, green. It's green. There's another one on this table because I did both versions. I don't know where the other one went. I did see the 74. That's one reason I want to make that beam. Con fell down and tried to take out my 3D scanner with it. For the love of Con, please don't take out my 3D scanner. I'm still making payments on that thing. We'll stick that over. For some odd reason, this Con is obnoxiously loose with the joints. Oh, here it is. It's hiding under a turtle, but just regular 3D printed green axe for him. For my wife, I converted the Zilla head file. I added a little nub on the back of it because my wife's been wanting me to make necklaces out of little Zillas. So I figure it can go in here and then go on the ear. So that's also a game plan. I gotta drill a little hole and I gotta figure out where she put her jewelry stuff, and I'll get that set up. That was what I was working on prior to taking a shower. And then spare time, worked on some turtles. These guys are all primered up. Primer's not even looking, but I'm hoping once I put the colors on, it'll kind of smooth itself out, hopefully. Move these guys around so I don't lose pieces. Like I said, I wasn't thinking properly when I started the stream. So I was like, yeah, we're upstairs. I can show you guys what I've been working on. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with the way that the 55 had turned out. Especially like once I think it's like done and colored up and everything, I think it'll look really sweet. Favorite era? 90s. Like late 80s, 90s, Heisei era. Shaking well might not have been the best option. Anyways, so on previous stream, I figured we'd work on a bit today. So I can say I made some progress on it, but we have the 2000. I still have to finish chopping up its tail. And then we got the baggie of limbs hanging out in there. Get out of here, cat hair. I love having long hair, cat. He is awesome. He's probably one of the best animals we've ever had. Nicest cat ever. So much nicer than the previous cat. Well, I like the cat. Servo's way more affectionate, which is nice. But sheds like a fiend. Showa is a good area. I would just say Showa is second. Is definitely second. It's pretty close though, but I would say like 90s. Because growing up, like nowadays, I don't watch them as much. But like honestly, I tend to hop more towards Showa now if I feel like watching something. Not a sponsor, anyways. I'm just thirsty and can't really have much soda, so we go with that, which I think is currently when it sprayed up, it got all over the table. So we're making a huge mess here. I've been working on a lot of random things the past couple of days. I've been meaning to edit some videos because I actually have some more stuff ready to edit. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Like when I was watching Casey the other day, we were watching like Godzilla vs. Gigan. And then I watched 55 a little bit ago, which is kind of what got me into wanting to do the head. Reiwa's been really good too. I'd say I like the current era more so than Millennium. I would put above because like Shin Godzilla and -1 are definitely like above like anything Millennium. Outside of the 99 suit, I would say is my favorite thing that came out of the Millennium. The movie's like fine. Orga's sweet, but it doesn't like hold a candle. Oh, so I gotta plug in the heat gun while we're here, which is that plug. Yeah, they definitely been having fun experimenting with all this stuff. Which is kind of funny how okay everybody is with that nowadays, but like when 98 came out, it was like blasphemy. But now we've had like anime extraterrestrial or extra-dimensional Godzilla. Q is pretty cool. Like I said, the movies were kind of just fine for me. I have a soft spot for Final Wars. It's like Final Wars and 99 are probably my two favorite out of the Millenniums. It's always getting learning points from your Godzilla movies. I'm gonna angle you guys down. Sorry for the mess above my garbage can right now. You guys are gonna be seeing. This is like, there's the Godzilla box parts, garbage, meaning to move that stuff around. So apologies in advance. Actually, you know what? This one actually turning into some, or planning on fixing up. Okay. Not so bad. Now you get to look at a mirror. Like I said, I do so much stuff down in my office. It's just everything's everywhere. I call this my office, the basement. It's like filming happens down here. I work on the majority of the action figures and stuff down here. The only thing I've been really doing upstairs on the other table is just sculpting, which is kind of what I want to keep. God, I forgot how much I don't like trying to chop this thing up. Because it is one tough son of a Steve. Well, I say that, but then you get to like this section, it's like, it kind of moves relatively easy. And then you get to that other section, and it's like hard as a rock. Plus, there's, in between this section, you'll see there's the slip. I got to worry about this stupid thing too. I'm trying to remember Cat calling Dogzilla. Was Dogzilla a corgi? Was that it? If so, I would give it to the cat. It's good monsters to get. I like that one, outside of mine having googlies. Everything else about it was really cool. I think I'm at the point where we have hit the membrane in the middle. Trying not to cut that dorsal spine. Not planning on doing much with the tail today, but I at least want to get it cut. The tail's like the one thing that's honestly easy to... Gonna be the easiest to probably mess with. There we go. One section. Do this a few more times. I was originally gonna do 2, but I think 3 is gonna be the way to go. Honestly, my thought is I have a bunch of extra NECA Godzilla tails hanging out from commissions because they don't get used for much, and I'm thinking about repurposing some of those for this project. That or wrestling action figure bodies. I also have plenty of those hanging out. Might be sticking a bunch of torsos in here so that you'll get your up and down and your movement. Yeah, it's nice doing this part of the tail because there's not all the interlacing in between. Must cut middle membrane without cutting myself. Oh, what the crap? That didn't cut. Yeah, there we go. 2 down. Yep, X plus 99. The Super Toho series, is that what it was called? This is the one review I still have to edit. It's still hanging out. My hope is tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll probably try to edit. Probably take Casey out biking, go edit the video, and then work on some stuff some more. Follow along. tail separation. Hold on. Let me. Ugh. Monster Chimo, honest opinion, going by the prototype photos, I would get the Haya. I think for cost, the only thing currently that Shimo has going over the Monster Arts is, or sorry, the Monster Arts has going over the Haya is articulation, because it definitely looks more posable than the Haya. And I'd be hard-pressed to believe that the Haya is going to be more posable. Anyways. But that being said, the Haya looks more like the movie. It's got a better paint job. Honestly, with it being bigger scale, I think would also be a benefit. Because, honestly, the Haya one doesn't look like it scales with its own Godzilla very well, but it would probably scale with the Monster Arts Godzilla pretty well. Which, the Monster Arts Godzilla, funny enough, I think looks better than the Haya. So it's like, it's weird. What you see me doing is I'm just using a heat gun to try to soften the vinyl so that I can cut through this easier. That being said, like I said, there's a... I just kind of repeated myself there. But there's this piece of vinyl going all the way through this thing, and it is making it super fun to try to shop through. It's getting better. We're getting to smaller sections. The only thing I don't like about the monster, I think detail-wise, it's got more going on than the Haya, but then again, I don't like the shape. The mouth is too elongated. Godzilla Hell Sweet. We made a figure of it on the channel. Okay, so this section is where I wanted to do more. So I think we're going to go up to 5. So right around there is where I want to cut. Oop, too high. High setting on the heat gun, we will melt the crap out of this. Granted, I can still melt it with this setting, but it takes a lot longer. A Shin Shimo? Pretty much Shimo with the split mouth? That'd be cool. Yeah, so I'm still not like super into the Shimo's. Like Shimo's design's kind of grown on me, but I still don't think it's that great. Like honestly, I kind of like the Mutos better. I think a lot of it too is they're just a bit more experimental of a kaiju, at least in terms of design. Although I do like having an ice kaiju. I still think it's cool. But yeah, as I say, in terms of Toho, yeah, Monster Arts has still definitely been on the winning end for me. Because even with the new Ghidorah and stuff, the only thing that's not a benefit for that Ghidorah is that it's gonna be cheaper than trying to hunt down a Monster Arts Heisei. But that being said, it doesn't look as good as the Monster Arts Heisei. Okay, and then right here, we'll call it a day. I think I cut that without having to. So got one ugly cut. This one didn't cut quite right. As you can see, I kind of split it there at the bottom. Happens sometimes. But that being said, I gotta elongate this and kind of round it out anyways. So it's not a big deal. Tail's got a bit of a weird shape to it. Well, not a weird shape, but it's not straight, so it makes it weird to cut. Like I said, the tails are the easier thing to get posing correctly, because all it is you hollow this end out, you elongate this end just a little bit with some epoxy putty and round it a bit, and kind of makes a monster art's tail at that point. Body is where you get a little bit more fun with. Like I said, we're still trying to figure it out. So I'm gonna move you guys up a bit. I could probably scan it. The shimmy the size, but I really, if at all possible, because if I scale it down a little bit, it would fit inside, which would maybe make my life easier. But then again, I also have to coat this, scan this, make a file, 3D print it, which something like this will probably take a good 6-7 hours of printing. And then this is a section now, because we weren't planning on fully repainting it, then I have to repaint this thing too. And still have to use some epoxy putty to get the thing together. So it's almost, like I said, it would probably, in the long run, maybe work a little bit better, but the amount of time I would have to put into it, it's easier for me just to hollow epoxy, and it'll be good. It'll just be a little bit more elongated, but it'll hopefully look more streamlined along the sections. So now we are back at trying to figure out how to get this to work. So first and foremost, I think I gotta take off this part of the stomach here, because that's gonna have to go, this part of the stomach, because this will have to go in. Oh, get thirsty while talking about. Anyways, I gotta chop at least the part that lifts, because I'm going to have to have this bending in, so then he'll be able to have a crunch. So let's do that. Angle it down right. Oh god, it's still so stiff there. Have a good one, Doji. Try to see where my cut was. Right there. So I don't have to redo this cut. So I want it to be able to kind of line up like this, but bend inwards. So there's my lip. Also got to remove some of this. Well, let's get the legs out of here, because this I got a general understanding of what I got to do. Oh, it's 99 if you can't tell from the spikes. Just working on shaving stuff. Trying to get this at a bit of an angle. So when I do make the clay, it'll got something to kind of go off the side of. Sometimes I'll use the Dremel to do this if I have to. But I don't know. It's almost kind of therapeutic for me to cut it like this. Because it's sort of like whittling. Until you get that part like this, where it's just one giant clump of vinyl. Again, try not to cut towards yourself when at all possible. Like so. And just continue whittling. How's everybody doing today? See, we're gone for very long. So it's kind of interesting to see the inside, because you can see where like the vinyl is like dripping on the inside when it cured, so there's like a little bit of runoff here and stuff. I think it's kind of cool. Gotcha. At my work, we call those going to use the bathroom. Hey, Andrew. Like, yeah, I don't got nothing to do for like 15, 20 minutes. I'm gonna go take a dump, quote unquote. This is the funnest part. And again, when using an X-Acto blade, always be super careful. One thing I do is if I tend to be cutting towards myself, I tend to kind of, it's weird, but I almost keep my thumb on the blade. So I can kind of control it a little bit better, especially if it decides to come off. Kind of rest it and angle it upward. At least this time, if I did end up cutting myself with this thing, I have insurance now. So I don't have to quite worry about it. Because, what custom was it? It was, the turtle one. I made that turtle kaiju. I'll pitch more into it. But I was cutting it, and I didn't think I was aiming towards myself, but the way I was putting so much pressure on the thing, and it finally gave. And when it gave, this went straight into my wrist. Straight down. I felt it hit the bone. And it, I got lightheaded. It sucked for a bit. But I also recently, at the time, had quit my job, which I had really good insurance with. The only good thing about the job. So I put some gauze on it, wrapped it up, and called it a day for working on that commission. And now sometimes I don't know, it's weird. Like I'll get like a pain in my wrist. Like right around here. Once in a while. So that's why I always keep reiterating while you guys watching me cut things, is to make sure you're being super, super duper careful. Because you can always be like, yeah, don't try this at home, but I'm literally a guy that's doing this at home. I have experience doing this a lot, but you got to start somewhere, right? Like, at some point, I saw some dudes doing this. Well, actually, that's a lie. I didn't really see people do it. I just kind of understood the process. And I was just like, well, I can do that. Went to it. Trying to clean up a couple of the sections here. Because this here, I don't really plan on messing with much. In terms of like the structure. Like I said, I'm just trying to whittle this away a little bit just to have a bit more of a smooth edge, so it's not just the more like rectangled side. They're having flat edges. So when I do the epoxy, it'll look a little more natural going into there. Kind of like that. It's, like I said, it's counterproductive, but I almost have my thumb in front of it. Just so I'm stopping this from moving. I don't have it in front of the blade, but I keep it in front of the actual knife. So while I'm applying pressure, it's going to my thumb. Which, again, could be dangerous because if it's slipped, my thumb's there. But just from my experience, it just helps me from flicking it. So it looks like the blade's going towards my thumb, but the way I have it angled, this part hits first. And I haven't cut myself yet doing it. It's always when I'm doing something stupid with it, like trying to cut a turtle shell with a knife that I probably should have just got a saw bit and did the same thing. Same with this. I'm probably going to do the same thing here because the way the tail's going to go in, it's probably going to go in the same. I might open this. I was gonna say I might open that up, but I might leave that the way it is. That might be alright. At least a NECA. It'll be at least NECA-ish good. Because it's definitely not going to have as many jointed sections. Mainly because hopefully compensate for weight. Because the more sections I got to put in, this is a kit bash. This was originally an X Plus. This is the X Plus Large Monster Series that we were kit bashing stuff into in order to make it posable. Is the plan. Oh god, now that's soft. This is going quick. Alright, we're gonna hit that part there. Almost through. Oop, there we go. The only thing that sucks about it is when you make it squishy, it makes it easier to do this, but then it's squishy, so now the vinyl's flexing on me. And you gotta be careful because I might cut something that I really don't want to cut. Like a spine. Like I mentioned previously, this is where the tails go. This section's where the tail's going into. So this will kind of get epoxied. The hole will go into the tail. You can use a hairdryer too, it's just my hairdryer sucks. The heat gun does this a lot faster than the hairdryer would. But the heat gun also has the negative of it's a heat gun, so you got to worry about it melting things, especially if you have it on a high setting. I'm also noticing as I'm cutting this, there's these little pockets that go inside, and it's kind of making a little bit of holes in the back, which will be fine because it's going to get epoxy putty anyway. It'll cover it up. Well, I'm trying my best to get rid of any part that's having a lip. So when I get it set up, it'll look more smooth. And then a worst case scenario, I do it with the Guirons. I did with the Guiron and a few other guys too. Is once I epoxy this, I can always go through and sand it to make it a nice smooth fit if I need to. So there's that. Next is you, which the game plan is to kind of do the opposite angle. Is I want to cut this. I'm literally going to take off some of the suit, but I want to cut upright like this and then go around. And then hopefully we'll be able to get to see some of the movements, and then I know where I got to epoxy for that too. But my day's going good. Did my job this morning, now I'm doing this. At least until Casey wakes up. Actually, you know what? I don't know how feasible this is, but I should probably get this body out of here because I have to do the same thing. Because like I mentioned, since you're here, I plan on trying not to do anything with the shoulders. So he'll be able to move, but I want the shoulders to stay in place because it'll kind of give it... If I cut this, it's going to start giving a weird segmenting. And personally, I feel like you'll get a more accurate like suits articulation than his arm being able to go like all the way back and not looking super realistic. I have a model file for a Spinosaurus. It was Arctic Figures. Been meaning to work on it. I got a bunch of these projects to work on right now, so I haven't gotten around to it. Yeah, you know, we'll just heat it up and hopefully it'll let me flex it a bit. So I also have to do the same thing around the neck here like I just was doing, because the neck's going to be kind of like this where it's got to go into the body. It's like, how did I get this in here originally? So close. If I can kind of get it up and then go down. It's like if I could just get one arm free, it will be good. This one arm has been giving me fits this entire time. Actually, can you know, I totally just remembered that those arms slide out. It's like, God, I was like, I remember this being easier with the Guiron figure. I was like, oh yeah, those just pop. Those are just unhinged, or those are just clips. Why am I fighting with this so hard? Ugh, Jesus. There we go. All right. Let's do the arms. Because we're going to clean up the cuts around here and then bend it in as much as I possible. Is it the monster arts you got the repaint of? Yeah, the Microman. Yeah, it's kind of more or less what I'm going for with this. It's like I said, like doing it this way, I feel gets you the best articulation to make it like a suit. Like it'll feel, I don't even say NECA, almost more like, have you ever seen like the Real Action Heroes? Where they have the suit versions of those. It'd definitely be a bit more akin to that. Because this spot here, I'm also going to have to epoxy. Take the giant chunk out of this support piece here. Like I said, there's the part where this connects, the backside connects to the front. It's kind of useless for this purpose, so I don't mind cutting it. It's still going to be glued in. Plus, it'll make it easier for me to get this stupid thing back in. But you'll see now it's a bit more rounded out. So hopefully that'll help with the posability. I'm just trying to get any section off of here that's going to be kind of squared, because we don't want to see that in the final version. And what I mean by square is like you see like the flat section here, that's, you don't want to be seeing that. On a high note, this one's actually be almost easy. I still got to remove some of this and then angle this just to open up the arm articulation a bit more. I feel like it hit the thing, which we did. We're out with that. Slice you off a bit. And then angling this piece. Get rid of the flat part from the original. Ooh, pretty close. There's this part here that's still sticking out a bit. Because any part that's sticking out, it's going to hinder the arm. And while I'm here, I'm just going to chop some of this away. There's not so much of it in here. There. Let's open up a bit more. Oh, that'd be cool, SSP. Okay, now the scary part is, again, I gotta angle this, which I think I want to remove some of this right now. At least attempt to. so that I don't got as much to go through later. Still gonna hit it a bit, but oh, nice. I didn't know that about the way I chop them up. Like I said, I just kind of got a lot of inspiration from like staring into monster arts. Kind of getting the gist of how the things need to be set up. And then it's a lot of back and forth after that. Alright, so angled. I had to start at the worst possible part. Now here's the part where it gets a bit on the scary side. It's this stiff, but I do have to kind of rotate it towards me. I know that's a bit squishy. So I'm trying to leave the back well enough alone, but I want enough posability out of these sides in order for it to hopefully be up a little bit and then kind of go in. So it kind of worked like that. But for it to work on the guy, because I kind of need it like to sit right around here. And then you'll be able to shimmy it side to side. Which probably means I got to remove some more off the bottom here. He thinks. Because I can't remove too much off the top body now because I'll lose some integrity around the arms. So ideally, if I want to keep using this body, I need it to kind of sit right here because then these ball joints can be repurposed for this. Sorry. So I can keep using these. I could probably have it a little higher. But the way the arms are, I need the body to be kind of like right there. Right now, you don't get too much play. Like right now, if it was just like, if I wasn't making the body posable, this would be perfect. Yep, it's a 99 Godzilla. But I gotta, so I gotta remove some more off of here. Like I said, it's a lot of chop a little bit off, you check it, chop a little bit off, you check it. At some point, I'm just gonna have to say screw it. Because the other thing I could do is once this is hooked together, I could keep this section, pop this off, and just make them two separate pieces. That actually might be the play. trying to remember how this thing worked. Let's see. Because I know this part unscrews. Oh, I just broke my blade. Not the best idea to use a blade for that. It came out so easy on the first one. Thankfully, I got some extras. Are you a flathead? You're a flathead. Are you a good enough flathead for this job? Because honestly, I don't care if this rubber goes back in. Or if it gets scuffed up or damaged, because we're not using it. Well, we're using it, but you're not seeing it. Where do those screwdriver pieces go? It's just like, I got so many of these fat ones. Oh, we're almost there. Yeah. Woohoo. Which is true, Eddie. It's kind of like, funny enough, I watch a lot of Bluey with Casey, and there was a line in Bluey where Chili tells Bluey to run her own race, and it cannot be the most. It's like the most truest thing you can say about anything in life. All right, so now that that's off, okay, yeah, that should pop off. This I need to pop out of the body. There we go. Because I give zero craps about this spring. But we need this to have the body articulation. Because that'll hook in there, and then you'll have... You'll still have this movement. You'll still be able to rotate, but now I can set this a little higher. Because it's not going to be quite proportionate anyways. Because the dude's neck, the head should be... Oh, I guess the head would sort of be in the neck. And then what I'm probably going to end up doing is jamming some epoxy putty in there as I sit this in here. Oh, this is going to be the weirdest part. Because now I can set it like here. And we can get so much better posability out of this once it's set in. The only thing is I got to figure out how to get that hooked into there while still being able to sculpt. Is going to be the hardest part figured out right now. Well, to be fair, this is a ball joint, yeah? Oh, but it's fully inserted, so that won't work. Not super long. Hot glue gun. I do use hot glue gun for some of these too, because they're good for keeping things into place, but it doesn't weigh a lot. The Guiron, for some of the arms, I was using hot glue instead of a filler. To be honest, what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably set it up I'll stick a rod in here, a rod in there, and be able to just kind of glue it into place. I think is my hope. Is the eventual end goal for that. And then set it right around there and then bend the articulation in. So he'll be a little bit taller. But I think that'll work really good. You guys can see. So he'll be a little bit more elongated, but it gives me a lot more room to play with the putty. So I'm going to take off a little bit more around here, maybe? Honestly, I might leave it. I think that was working pretty well. Because once I get this all kind of figured out, then I get to do the fun part of getting everything fixed in place, so then I can add the Sculpting and get everything like permanently in place. But I would like the shoulders to kind of rest right around there. Oh yeah, we still gotta do that. Oh, you guys just let me forget about the neck. Oh, but my favorite dinosaur is Dilophosaurus. I should trigger people and just be like, my favorite dinosaur. I'm trying to see what time it is. My favorite dinosaur is Dimetrodons. Because my wife loves Dimetrodon, but it's not a dinosaur. So it doesn't count. Like I said, kind of doing the same trick here. Like you'll see right there it skipped, but it hit the butt of my thumb on the foam part of this knife. Because of the way I got it angled. Again, not too concerned about scratching the figure on the inside because we don't honestly care how it looks. So now it's a bit cleaned up on the top. Alan! All I can ever think about now is the stupid JP's Jurassic Park 3. That's the neck, right? Oh no, one of the legs popped out. There's the head. Head. Because the mouth is going to be sticking out just a little bit. Because there'll be a ball joint here. The adapter will be here, and then we'll sit on and be able to move around a little bit more. That being said, still kind of got to do the same thing here. Just going to be fun. Ooh, that softened up quite a bit. Just need English. Go into here. Aim around the mouth. sure where my cut ended there. Especially once you start feeling some pressure when you're trying to cut. Definitely want to get your fingers out of there. There we go. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So the top of the mouth is its own thing. Clean that up. Clean up some of the detailing. So there's a nice smooth edge. Kind of like that. And same thing with this. Can cut this at an angle. So now when it comes out, it's a little extra play here, but now, once I put that joint in, I can almost get that to where I want it to. So now I can still go fully open. I'll be able to go up. And what I'll do is leave this part alone, but just bring the epoxy into the back here. So this will be hidden, but it'll be able to still kind of go in. And then this piece will go up into the mouth. Might be able to try to... Honestly, I might remove a bit more of the jaw back here. I want to be able to go from closed mouth to open. Which I think that's about as open as it is anyway, so that should be pretty good. It's just, like I said, it's a lot of making sure the ball joint placement's right. Definitely got to open that up more. I think what I need to do is have this a little bit more level. I'm pretty happy with that. Yep, now it's just kind of cleaning this piece up. On the inside here. Preferably without cutting through the actual vinyl. Yeah, I got the Monster Arts 99. It's a good Monster Arts. It's just, it's 99, but it's not 99. And I really wish they would come back to this and make a proper 99 Monster Arts. I know people have made custom heads to do that with. I'm half tempted for giggles to scan this head when I'm done and just make a ball joint for it real quick, scan it so that it'll pop onto a Monster Arts, and then we'll go from there. Hey, you'll kind of see now. It's a lot more hollow on the inside. Just trying to move as much vinyl as I can, but still leave it with like a little bit of structural integrity. Because you'll get problems like this. You'll see it popped off there. So I'm going to have to glue that in, and then when I epoxy it, it'll reinforce it again. Just kind of the nature of the beast. So we want ball going to head. So this is going to ball into here, and then this is going to ball into there. So I'll glue this back, and then when I epoxy this, it's going to kind of clean up a lot of it. But it did take off a little bit too much vinyl there, but that's okay. We're gonna, like I said, we're rebuilding some of this anyways around here because, like I said, it's going to kind of round out into here, so it'll be fine. Yeah, so we do a lot of kit bashing on the channel. This isn't for me though, this is a commission, so somebody's paying me to do this. Which is always a little bit terrifying for me because, like this, it's the first one I've ever done, especially in this scale. I've never chopped up an X Plus before. Been wanting to, for different reasons. Because I kind of wanted to. I made a. You see it on the thumbnail or the channel logo, but there's the anime girl Shin Godzilla. But I used a Supersonico for it. You can kind of tell it's Supersonico. But I really want to update it with like a 1/6 scale figure, because then I could have like a more generic girl be the character. So when I'm looking at it, I'm not like seeing Supersonico. I'm just seeing some generic person with the outfit on. And for me, that would be a little bit nicer. So it's one of those ones like I would kind of want to do for myself, but it's getting the time to do it. Again, be super careful when cutting towards yourself. Trying to hollow this out so the head, once I make the little piece for it, it'll be able to, it'll sit probably right around here, and then be able to side to side, it'll rotate. Going in is going to be the current issue. So again, we must remove. Because a lot of this suit has sections that it kind of angles out and goes down with the detailing. Because you can see it with the neck, where it like bends out and then comes down. Oh, thanks, SSB. This is a NECA, or not NECA, this is a X Plus, so this is a quarter scale, not quarter scale. It's technically like a 1/6 size because it's 12 inches, but it's not 1/6. Okay, so yeah, that'll be able to bend in better. Probably remove a little bit from the neck here. Because where it lifts up, I think I just want it to be straight down. So we're going to take a bit more off the top. There. Move that. One thing that's going to be a bit time consuming on this guy is trying to detail all this. Because each of the sections, when I do them, I try to keep the skin sort of texture because it's going into the body. It doesn't have to be as detailed. But I still got to kind of coincide with it. But now you'll see it'll be able to bend in a bit better now when I'm doing it. More so, you kind of like more try to aim with these because it doesn't like he needs like like look straight vertical. It's kind of like you want him to be able to look a little bit more up. Down would be good. Side to side to turn the head with, and then of course kind of like rotating. It's more what you kind of aim for with these than anything. Same with the neck. We have to remove some of that piece there. Taking up so much detail. So it'll be able to bend in better. Oh, gotta do the same thing for this. Take off that piece. Take off this piece here. And then a little more outwards with the body. I think I'm just removing this. The shoulder bit. Kind of sucks because I really like that detail right there for the spiky bit, but it's gotta go. For the sake of posability, it's got to go. Oh yeah, it's because like the weird way the suit kind of angles. Now I have it up. It's a lot of just kind of fudging. So I did this to be about up to here, and then I need it to bend inward. If I double ball joint that, I think it'll be enough to play with that. It's gonna be like double ball joint, double ball joints. Should be good there. This is gonna be a single ball joint, but we got enough play with this now that'll. I'm actually most proud of this. Like this, This is gonna work. Like, you can see here, like, works perfect. So much vinyl kibble. Well, if you plan on getting into like movies or prop making, it's always practice makes perfect. So if you want to work on filmmaking, like, use your phone camera and start working on making videos and use like Microsoft like movie editor or whatever you can get for free. Mess around with those. Same with stop motion. Watch some YouTube tutorials. My only conundrum is the legs came out of the bag. We don't know which leg was with which. Thankfully, we haven't started cutting yet, so I can figure it out. I think that's this one. Yep. So that's you, which means that is not you. That's for you. Okay. So that leg's that leg. Is that leg? Currently, it's a generic 1/6 scale male figure for some of the joints. Some of the joints will be ball joints that I gotten off eBay and eBay and Amazon. And just random miscellaneous figures. Like I said, the tail will probably be reusing some action figures from the Hammer video bins and whatnot. Why does your cat like him? I've seen people make it in two. I figure out where I gotta stick this to get this to work right. Because if it's right there, I think I really want this as far down the crotch as I can get it. Kind of like that. Honestly, I might be just chopping off the suit fold. As weird as that sounds. Because I'd almost like to use the foot as an anchor and just leave this loose. With that being said, I think I gotta chop this part off too. But yeah, we're planning on making this puzzle. Alright, so we got the upper body pretty well figured out. The tail, like I said, is gonna be pretty straightforward. It's just gonna be more of the same. So I don't know if I'll do that on stream. But it's just gonna be cutting out one side so that there'll be a bit more of a ability to bend. The arms and legs, however, are like the fun part because it's a lot of tweaking and finessing to get this stuff in there. And then heating it up, so on and so forth. Like I gotta open this up more so I can slide the arm. So I would like to get it over the elbow piece, and then it'll be able to move. Because ideally, that would go over the elbow piece. The actual bicep, I'll try to leave as a free-floating thing. I'm so confused. This is for this one, right? Was that arm? Oh, I guess it was. Okay, it's just weird elbow. Got it. Try to keep the bicep kind of floating. Yeah, because I hooked into there and then... Okay, yeah, that makes more sense now. Okay. We'll see. Hopefully, once I get that up. Oh no, now that I took it out once, it now wants to come out forever. I think it was like that, right? That's how it was set up. So now it's kind of rounding this out so it'll be able to sit in here a little bit better. So once the elbow's in, that'll kind of lock that into place. Anyways, we've been going for about an hour and a half now, so I think I'm going to call it a day here, but I appreciate you guys checking out the stream, seeing a bit of the progress work on this. Because once it's set up, because honestly the setup for me is probably the thing that takes the longest to work out the kinks. And once the kinks are worked out, then it's the more streamlined part of just putting it together, sculpting. And then for this one, we're mainly just matching paint and cleaning up some teeth. Oh, sweet on the custom T-Rex. Made one of those a bit ago. I want to go to Disneyland all the time. Okay. Again, appreciate you guys checking out the stream. You can help us defeat those kaijus by hitting the like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook. Guys, like keep up to date with the channel. Donate, greatly would appreciate it. Like I said, if you follow my Instagram over at Unimportant Steve, I've been posting some of the beams up there for sale currently. It might end up on Etsy, but we'll see how that goes. If they don't end up, nobody buys them up Instagram or whatnot. I'll probably end up tossing some up over there. If you guys like to pick up some high-end Godzillas for yourself, link in the description for CowKissToys.com. You can save 6% off your order at code SteveCowKiss at checkout. Might be my favorite place to pick up the high-end Godzilla figures. And they help support the channel too. I got the Budos currently on the way, so waiting for that. So that's exciting. They're sold out of that one though, but they still have Shimo for pre-order. They have the Nuclear Godzilla, the blue one, the power-up Godzilla. Or if you guys like to pick up Stateside Collectibles, link in the description for Entertainment Earth. I think they had this little Godzilla on there before I brutally merged secured this boy. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. Maybe later.